Hey, my name is Phil from legitmarketingreviews.com. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a content writing research tool called Postpace. Now, in this Postpace review, I want to show you exactly what Postpace does, how it actually works, and by the end of this video, you should know if it's right for you. And just to let you know, they are currently having a limited lifetime deal. So if you want to check it out and get Postpace at a one-time price, make sure you check out the link in the description. Okay, so first of all, what is Postpace? It is a content writing research tool, which basically means you can decide on a keyword that you want to write an article for. You can see what the top ranking competitors have actually written and how their articles have been structured. Everything from an article word count to the types of headings they're using, to the types of terminology they're using, as well as multiple other factors. And this is going to tell you sort of what you need to do that actually pleases the audience looking for that particular keyword. So instead of actually trying to tell you how Postpace works, what I'm actually going to do is jump behind the screen and show you everything. Okay, so let's get started first of all on the Postpace website. What I'm going to do is run through the different features of this tool. I'm also going to go through the normal pricing, and then I'll also go through the lifetime deal. So let's get started. So first of all, they are saying that you can actually save 20 hours every month using this AI-powered SEO research and optimization tool, which is really cool. And this is basically how it works, right? First of all, you get a keyword or a topic that you want to write an article for. You put it into Postpace, and it's going to spit out all of the different answers. Basically, it's going to pull all of the top blog posts on the internet. It's also going to tell you their word count, their readability, how many times they used the keyword, how many images they used, and how many H tags they've used, right? Heading tags. So it's really important, especially because it's going to bring up the different titles as well and the different headings, so you can actually decide what people are majority looking for. Once you've done that, you can actually extract bits and pieces from different articles to create your own content brief. And then finally, you can write an article and optimize it for SEO. So it's really cool. It's like using premium tools, things like Market Muse, or using things like Surf for SEO, but it's all inside a nice and affordable platform. So it's really cool. So once again, we've got the content analysis. This is seeing what articles are actually ranking in the top 50, I believe it scrapes. Then you can go ahead, create a content brief, go ahead and optimize your content, and you can also schedule out your content. You should, if you've got different sort of team members within your team, I believe you can have unlimited seats, which is a really good selling point as well. You can just schedule them inside of here so they understand what you're working on, if that makes sense. So let's go through the pricing now. If you are going based on the normal pricing, if you want the basic plan, you get to use 20 topics per month. So let's just say you've got some ideas for a article. Basically, you can have 20 articles per month using the basic plan. In growth, you have 30, business is 57, and you can have 100 different reports and outlines and projects basically per month. Unlimited seats is probably the big game changer, because if you have multiple writers, you know, you can bang these out really quick. Of course, there's also yearly pricing if you want to save a little bit more as well. So let's go ahead and look at the lifetime deal. So currently it's on AppSumo. I believe it is until the end of December. So if you want to get Postpace at a one-time price, highly recommend checking it out before the deal runs out. Now, if we come down to the limits, just to show you what you'll actually get on the lifetime deal. So if we look at the basic plan, you get 20 topics and reports per month, you get 20 content briefs, 20 projects, unlimited seats. And if we look here, it's the exact same, right? So you're getting basically the basic plan for $97 one-time purchase instead of paying $17 per month. There is, however, a little sort of side thing to it. If you want to get more tasks, if you want to get more topics, everything like that, what you can do is actually stack codes when you're actually checking out. So they've got it mentioned down here. Each AppSumo deal code gives you 20 topic reports, content briefs, and content projects per month. So when you stack multiple codes, the limits go up accordingly. For example, if you get 2 codes, 20 times 2, you get 40 reports, briefs, and projects. So you can basically buy as many of these as you want, and it's going to go up in 20 increments. So if you are someone that's going to be putting out a lot of content, let's just say an article a day, you'd probably want to get 2 codes so you can have 31 topics per month. If you're a big copywriting or content creating agency, you'd most likely want to get more, but for most people, this is more than enough at just the $97 rate. So now let's get stuck into Postpace. So here it is in my current dashboard. I'm currently on the 1 code plan. And once you log in, you're going to be walked through setting up things like your name, your organization. You're going to be asked a few keywords, what sort of things you're going to be talking about, all that sort of good stuff. But what they have here once you first log in is a sample article. And I'll walk you through this, plus walk you through a fresh article just so you know how it works. But at the top here, we've got 5 different tabs. We've got content planner, content audits, topic reports, content briefs, and content projects. So let's start off at the content planner. Now, the content planner is more of like an idea of where you want to create your articles or where you want to launch them, things like that. And you can actually switch it into a list view if that's easier. But this is more for your team. So if you had, say, a content researcher, you could say, hey, look, this is when I want this out. And you can create an article based on here. And inside each of these different planners, you can edit the status of it so you know exactly how the article is going. Now inside here, you'll also see view report, create brief, and optimize content inside of here. So if you do have a team, they can go ahead and adjust things where they need to, so you know exactly where you're at. So what I'm going to do is actually choose one here. I'll create a new piece of content just so we can go through it together. So for this title, I've just done one called the best web hosting, but I'm going to just choose this one here. Best landing page builders for WordPress, right? This can be an article. Most people want to talk about it. So the publishing date, let's just say we're scheduling it for next week. And the keyword is going to be landing page builders for WordPress. Okay. So I'm going to click add to planner. And as you'll see, you've created, your new content project has been successfully added. You can edit things when you go inside of there. So I'm going to click on close. I'm just going to go ahead and reload this page. And as you can see now, right down on the 22nd, we have got our article. Now, if I've clicked on it, you've seen we now have create report, not view report, because it hasn't been created. We can also edit these bits and pieces if we wish. The create brief isn't there yet because we haven't created a report. And same thing goes with the optimized content. So let's go ahead and create a report. So now it's asking what region you want to actually use. So this has got United States, google.com. If you want to choose a different one, that's entirely up to you. At the beginning, it's going to ask what your default is. I chose United States and it's going to ask your language. There is a few to choose from. So I'm going to leave it as English and click on create report. Now, this is preparing. It is going to take a few minutes as it's going to scrape a bunch of information off the internet. So what I'm going to do is actually close this. I'm going to come to the top to topic reports, click on that, and it's now preparing. So I'm just going to pause the video, wait a few moments, and let it load. Okay, so that is all done. It took around a minute to complete, so I'm very happy with the speed of this. So I'm going to go ahead now and click on view report. And we have now an analysis basically of the top ranking articles, the top 50 to be exact, and sort of what the similarities are in all of them based on the 10 positions. So we've got 1 to 10, 10 to 20, and so forth. So if we come down, you can also see all the different URLs that are currently ranking. So we have here WBeginner is taking it out as the 6th best WordPress landing page plugins compared, which is cool, and we can all come down to see the different elements. Now, if we come through here, we've got a score. This is an internal score for Postpace. We also have here the amount of words, the readability. We've also got keywords, so how many times it's mentioned, the images, how many it has on the page. We've also got how many headlines, how many paragraphs, and then you can also view the article here. For me, the most important sort of information comes right down here when it says competitive analysis of the top 50 competing contents, because what that basically means is you can see what they all have in common, what's sort of the average of the top 10 for all the different pieces. So if it was me, if I was going to create an article, I wouldn't just look at sort of how much the first one has got, how much the second one has got. I'll probably take an average of the sort of top 10 to see exactly what's happening. So if I wanted to create an article, I'd expect to write about 2,600 words if I want to rank in the top 10. So if I come to readability, I can see inside of here that readability isn't really a big issue. It says it's the 10th to 12th, right? So readability isn't the most important factor inside of here, which means you can be a little bit loose with it, which is good. We've also got here keyword frequency. Surprisingly, it has got no keyword exact matches, but that's because I had best landing pages for WordPress, and they have here best WordPress landing page. Now, as you know, Google likes seeing variations of Word. That's why these guys are still ranking at the top. So that's really cool. Next, we have images. So they've got 26 images for 1 to 10. That's the average. For 11 to 20, they've actually got 31. So more doesn't necessarily mean better. However, you want to have around 26 if possible, as it's going to be the sort of average of all the top 10. Next, we have headlines. How many sort of headline topics do they have? So these guys have got 25. So you want to aim for that. How many paragraphs they've got? 69, so it's a pretty big article that's going on there. Title length has got 57 characters, right? So that's the title here. Then we've got how many bold words do they use? There's 20 bold tags, headline words, and also paragraph words. So it's 1,744 paragraph words. So to me, this is going to give me an idea of what I roughly need to do if I'm going to create a blog post that's going to rank at the top 10. It is quite a bit to digest, but don't worry, it is more of a guide than sort of something that you have to do to a perfect sort of level. If you can keep it relatively within these needs, then you're going to hopefully get quite a bit of traction. Now, you can go ahead and download this entire report if you want as well, especially if you have clients. It's going to be nice and handy for them. But it's really cool to see what they've got here. Now, if we scroll down even further, we've also got here the articles themselves. It's all been separated so we can actually start seeing what these guys are talking about. This is perfect too if you haven't actually looked into the topic that much either yet, but there's an opportunity for you to rank, because you can just come through, see what everyone's talking about, and sort of get the same sort of ideas, so you can go ahead and research those topics yourself. So if we come down, we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've also got 5. So I'd probably take bits and pieces from the top 4 or 5 articles and sort of piece together one joint sort of article, so you've got the best of all of them. So the next step is actually coming to the top, clicking on View Content Brief. I've actually already just clicked on it. And what you will see is this huge sort of amount of terms that have been added that it says you should use in your article, right? Important terms to use in your article. And the reason it's saying this is these particular keywords or these particular phrases have been used throughout these top articles quite a bit. So it's saying, hey, if you use them around the same amount of times, it's going to give you a good sort of similarity to the top ranking articles, and Google's going to recognize that. So it's pretty cool to see. It's quite overwhelming when you first see it, but it's there as a guide, and you're going to be using that later on. So now the next step for our content brief is actually starting to find some headlines that we want to use. Now, what I recommend you do is minimize this content brief so it's not overpowering, and just come through and have a quick browse of all the different types of sort of headings these guys are talking about, so you can go ahead and choose the ones you want to talk about. So what I'm going to do is start off with this one here, why use a landing page plugin for WordPress. So when you first click, you'll notice it has a highlighted sort of thing over it. And from there, once it's highlighted, you only have to click once to actually add these headlines into your content brief. So there's nothing there. If I click on this and click on that once, we've now got a headline. So I just come through, choose the different sort of headings that I want to add into my article. So let's just say I want to add in the best WordPress landing page plugins compared. Click on that. And now I can just come through and choose some different options that I want to use. So optimize press, lead pages. We'll also use Divi. So that's cool. I think I've got maybe a few there. So what you can actually do is click on your content brief, and you can drag it out so it's now like a subheading, right? So it keeps things nice and neat, right? So this is basically the ones that I want to mention. So drag them out so they're all underneath that heading, and it's going to be nice and easy to actually use later on. So I'll just click that there. So that looks pretty good. Let's talk about other things that people would talk about in landing page builders. So maybe we can always have a sort of closing sort of statement, the #1 landing page for WordPress. So I'll add that. Easily create high converting WordPress landing pages with SeedProd. Not quite. Creating custom WordPress landing pages. I guess we could do that. Ready-made WordPress landing page builder sections. That's a good topic. Responsive landing page templates. What else have we got inside of here? Maybe this one as well. What is the best landing page plugin? I believe it's quite similar, but not quite. So if I go to my content brief, we've now got a huge content brief inside of here, right? We've got all the different headlines and topics that we want to talk through. I'll also add in maybe a few other ones like SEO optimized, integrated analytics, all those sort of things, and then put them under a subheading that can be for the winning sort of article, I guess. So you just move things around to where you want it to go. And let's just say this looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is that has been done. So now I can go ahead and actually click on content brief, and you will see our landing page builders for WordPress is here. So you can go ahead, click on view brief, and now here is all the information that we have collected, as well as the important terms to use within our article. So this is all good information to have. And what you can do if you do have writers is actually copy all of it to the clipboard. You can open up a brand new Google Doc, something like that, and you can just paste it all in, right? And it's got here, you know, title, landing page builders for WordPress. It's got your headlines that you want to have inside of your article. Plus, it's also got important terms to use within your article, right? So your writer will now know exactly what he needs to, you know, create content about. So it's really good. It takes out the guesswork and it makes things look really good. So I'm pretty happy with it. The best part about this, once again, is the ability to have unlimited seats within your account. So what you could actually do is, once you have got your outline, you could actually copy all of that to clipboard, come back to topics report, click on your report for the keyword that you're wanting to use. And then at the top here, we've got this tab, optimize content. And what you could do is actually paste in the article, either if you're creating it, if your copywriter's created it, whatever it might be. And you'll notice that we've got here an optimization sort of page where you can go through and check how your article is actually going. So this is actually just the article outline. It's not that good. So what I'm actually going to do is come back. I'm going to choose the default article that they've put inside of here, just to give you a better idea of what it will look like. So if we come in here, this is what an article would look like. Let's just say your writer has come through and he's given you this. You're like, okay, let's come in here. Let's see what else I need to do. So first of all, score is only 44. It's not that high. We need to be closer towards 100. So let's just see what we can do. So first of all, we've got here words. You know, we've only got 936, where it says the average should be around 9482 to 6182. So we need to add in a fair few thousand keywords to rank for this particular keyword here, right? So that's a pretty hard keyword to actually rank for. Now you notice we don't have any keywords mentioned inside of here, which is quite interesting. So what you want to do is come through and actually add in the keyword a couple more times, just so it's going to rank. We also have here headings. We've only got 3. We need at least 30 to actually start getting on the board. Same thing with the article title. It's a bit short. We need to extend that article title a little bit longer. And if we come down, we've also got 3 tabs here to help give you even more optimization. We've got topics, optimization, and questions. So first of all, in topics, just like we had before, this is giving us some particular types of phrases that we can use inside of our article to actually get more sort of generalization for this particular topic. So Google recognizes it as that. So if you came through and you typed in something here, it's a marinara sauce, and you'll see it's actually gone up 1 there. So as you optimize your content, it's going to get better, right? Next, we have the optimization tab, and this is going to give us a few important types of things we can do to our article to make it better. As you can see, the first one is keep your article title length between 40 and 70 characters. And if we come to the top, you can see our title is actually sample pasta sauce recipe. And for this example, it's actually the keyword as well, which makes it a little bit annoying having this bracketed sample word there. But let's just work off it. Let's just say it is the best pasta sauce recipe on the planet, right? Now, if I've added in those few extra words, you'll notice it is now turned green, meaning that we are somewhere in the middle, which is going to give us the best type of result. Same thing here. So what I'm going to do is just copy this keyword. It's saying use the keyword in the first 150 words of your article. So what I'm going to do inside of here, it's this, and I'm just going to paste it in there, is a family recipe I know you'll love. Right, so now we've added it in the first 150 words. So these are simple fixes, but the good thing about it is without having this sort of information available, then you wouldn't know exactly what you were going to do. Now, the good thing about the questions as well, if you are into schema and like creating things like FAQs, this is going to make your life so easy. All you need to do is choose a few of these different sort of questions that people have used. Find ones that are obviously not exactly the same, but all around the same topic, and you can actually just add them in the bottom. So Google sees the FAQ schema, and it's going to take these sort of questions that are used quite a lot and put them in your article. So that's basically how it works. So you want to, once again, make this as close to 100 as possible. Once you've done that, you're in a very good standing position for your article to get recognized by Google. So you go ahead, click save. You can copy the entire thing, paste it in to your website. Now let's finally talk about the last feature inside of this platform, which is one I'm going to use the most, as I've already created so many articles that need optimizing, and that is content audits, right? So what you can actually do is go ahead and put in a URL that you want to scan, put in the keyword you're trying to rank for, and once again, the search engines, and you can go and create an audit report. Now, I've already done one for one of my articles before. Let me show you exactly what it looks like. So if you remember, we had the topic reports before. It's going to look really similar to that. So what it's done, it's taken my article that I created, and it's gone ahead and chose all the different types of articles that are ranking, and it's going to show the average of how everything's working. Now, I believe my article's like ranking within the first 10, so it's good to see, but it's also going to show me some things I can improve on. So if we come down here, we can see I haven't got enough images. My paragraph count isn't enough as well. I haven't got enough words in bold, or I've got too many, I believe. Yeah, too many words in bold. We've got no H2s, no H3s, and my meta description count is far too low. So that's all these little minor adjustments that I could use on my article. The interesting thing though was the NLP phrases and words in my article, because I've been trying to find a tool for a while that isn't extremely expensive, like paying for Surfer SEO or anything like that, that's going to give me this sort of information, and now I found it. But as you can see, I've used sales funnel far too many times, 10 times. I need to be between 4 and 8. So if I just lowered that slightly, it's going to give me an advantage than what it currently is. Same thing with all of these articles, right? So I've overused so many different phrases, and I've underused all these other ones as well. So I need to sort of balance it out a little bit and fix up these few things. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to have a very good standing article. Now you just want to come through, have a look how your article is doing in terms of the other ones around. So my readability is good, so I'm happy with that. My word count is good, so I'm happy with that. My keyword frequency is very high, so probably need to maybe look at that, see if it needs changing. My images are low, my headlines are low, my paragraphs are also low, my title length is good, bold words is very high, headline words very low, and finally paragraph words is tiny. So it's all interesting information, right? And this is all based off the top 50. So it's interesting to see. It's very good if you have clients as well, because you can just go ahead and actually download the report and send it to your client. I'll show you what the report will actually look like, just so you can get an idea. So I'll download this report here. It's just going to download as a zip. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it. And now it's going to actually have a folder. I'll just bring it over. So this is inside of the zip folder. And inside here, we've got the competitive comparison. So if I just have a quick look, this is all of the different sort of information with all of the graphs that we had before, right? The word count, readability, all that sort of stuff. We've also got the content metrics and analysis. So it's showing the word count and sort of the ranking, things like that. And then finally, we've got the NLP phrases and words and what we need to do to improve them. So it's a lot of powerful metrics and a lot of powerful analytics to have on your site. And that is Postpace. It's a very, very cool tool. What I'm going to do right now, jump behind the screen, just want to talk about a few extra things. Okay, so that was my Postpace review. As you can see, this tool is very powerful, especially if you are someone who is creating articles and maybe you haven't got the big team behind you, or maybe you're just not that SEO savvy like myself. It is always very handy to have this sort of tool in your toolkit, as it's going to give you the information you need to get better rankings. Now, once again, this is extremely well priced compared to other competitors out there, the premium ones being Surfer SEO and also Ahrefs. So in that that regard, this is a steal for the price. And once again, there is some lifetime links in the description if you want to go ahead and get an amazing price right now. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this Postpace review once again. If you did, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I've got so many great deals, including Black Friday deals coming out very soon. So make sure you check it out. That's it from me. I'll see you on the next video.